Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are completing week 3 of the American English preparation course for grade 9. Our lesson today is called Author's Purpose and Tone. Every author writes for a reason. The author chooses a topic, selects specific information, and uses certain words to communicate a message. To understand the text deeply, we need to answer two important questions. The first question is, why did the author write this text? This question helps us identify the author's purpose. The second question is, how does the author sound? This question helps us identify the author's tone. Let us begin with the author's purpose. The author's purpose is the main reason the author created the text. Authors usually write for three main purposes: to inform, to persuade, and to entertain. We can remember these three purposes by using the word P.I.E. P means persuade, I means inform, and E means entertain. Let us examine each purpose carefully. The first purpose is to inform. An author writes to inform when the goal is to teach, explain, describe, or provide information. Informational texts may include articles, textbooks, reports, biographies, instructions, and scientific explanations. For example, regular physical activity can strengthen muscles, improve energy, and reduce stress. What is the author's purpose? The purpose is to inform. The sentence provides information about the benefits of exercise. The second purpose is to persuade. An author writes to persuade when the goal is to convince the reader to believe something or take an action. Persuasive texts may include advertisements, opinion articles, campaign speeches, letters, and argumentative essays. For example, our school should create a longer reading period because students need more time to read independently. What is the author's purpose? The purpose is to persuade. The author presents an opinion and tries to convince the reader. The third purpose is to entertain. An author writes to entertain when the goal is to tell a story, create an experience, or make the reader feel enjoyment, excitement, fear, or curiosity. Entertaining texts may include short stories, novels, plays, poems, and humorous writing. For example, as Omar opened the old classroom door, a small paper airplane flew past his face and landed on the teacher's desk. What is the author's purpose? The purpose is mainly to entertain. The sentence begins a story and creates curiosity. However, some texts may have more than one purpose. For example, a biography may inform readers about a person's life while also inspiring them. A speech may provide information while also persuading the audience. When a text has more than one purpose, identify the main purpose. Ask yourself, what is the author mainly trying to achieve? Now let us discuss tone. Tone is the author's attitude toward the topic or the audience. Tone explains how the author sounds. An author may sound serious, hopeful, critical, encouraging, concerned, cautious, humorous, angry, formal, neutral, or urgent. Tone is not the same as topic. Two authors may write about the same topic, but use completely different tones. How do we identify tone? We study the author's word choice. The author's word choice is also called diction. Let us compare two sentences about the same topic. Sentence 1. Students may improve their concentration by creating a clear study schedule. The tone is calm, helpful, and informative. Now read sentence 2. Students must stop wasting valuable time and take control of their study habits immediately. The tone is strong and urgent. The topic is the same. Both sentences discuss study habits. But the tone is different because of the words must, wasting, take control, and immediately. These words create a stronger and more urgent tone. Now let us examine some common tone words. The first tone is serious. A serious tone uses formal and important language. For example, this problem requires careful attention from students, families, and schools. The second tone is optimistic. An optimistic tone focuses on positive possibilities. For example, with regular practice, every student can make meaningful progress. The third tone is critical. A critical tone points out problems or weaknesses. For example, the current plan ignores the needs of students who require additional support. The fourth tone is encouraging. An encouraging tone gives confidence and motivation. For example, do not allow one mistake to stop you. Every correction helps you improve. The fifth tone is cautious. A cautious tone avoids making a strong claim without enough evidence. For example, the results suggest that the new method may help some students. The words suggest, may, and some create a cautious tone. Now let us practice with the short paragraph. Listen carefully. Many students use their phones while completing homework. Notifications can interrupt concentration and make simple tasks to take longer. The students should place their phones in another room until their work is complete. What is the author's purpose? The purpose is merely to persuade. The author wants students to change their behavior. What is the tone? The tone is concerned and direct. What evidence supports this answer? The phrase, students should place their phones in another room, shows that the writer is recommending an action. Now read another paragraph. Mobile phones allow students to communicate, use educational applications, and find information quickly. However, schools often create rules to prevent phones from interrupting lessons. What is the author's purpose? The purpose is to inform. The paragraph presents information about both the advantages and disadvantages of phones. What is the tone? The tone is balanced and neutral. The author presents more than one side without strongly attacking or supporting phone use. When answering a question about purpose and tone, do not write only one word. Support your answer with evidence from the text. A complete answer may say, the author's purpose is to persuade students to reduce phone use during homework. The writer uses direct advice and explains that notifications interrupt concentration. The tone is concerned and urgent. Note that the answer concludes the purpose, the tone, and evidence from the text. Now let us examine another example. The park was silent except for the sound of dry leaves moving across the empty path. Lena looked behind her, but no one was there. What's the author's purpose? The purpose is merely to entertain. What is the tone? The tone is mysterious and tense. Which words create this tone? The words silent, dry leaves, empty path. And no one was there. These details create suspense. Let us practice one more time. Read this paragraph. Recycling helps reduce waste and protect natural resources. Schools can support recycling by placing clearly labeled bins in classrooms and teaching students how to separate materials correctly. What is the author's purpose? The purpose is to inform and persuade, but the main purpose is to persuade. The author wants schools to support cycling. To support recycling, what is the tone? The tone is positive and encouraging. The author focuses on useful actions that schools can take. Now follow this method when answering questions about purpose and tone. First, identify what the text mainly does. Does it teach or explain? Does it convince the reader? Or does it tell a story? Second, study the author's word choice. Third, choose a precise tone word. Do not only write good, bad, or nice. Use more accurate words such as concerned, optimistic, critical, neutral, formal, humorous, or urgent. Fourth, support your answer with a quotation or detail from the text. Here is a useful answer frame. The author's purpose is to blank because the text blank. The tone is blank, as shown by the words blank. For example, the author's purpose is to persuade because the text encourages students to reduce phone use. The tone is concerned and direct, as shown by the words should place their phones in another room. Before we finish, remember the difference. Purpose explains why the author wrote the text. Tone explains how the author feels or sounds. The three main purposes are to inform, to persuade, and to entertain. Tone may be serious, hopeful, critical, encouraging, concerned, cautious, humorous, neutral, formal, or urgent. Always support your answer with evidence from the text. In the next lesson, we will begin week 4 and learn about plot structure and conflict. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep practicing, and I'll see you